Welcome to 40 Days Till a Better You. This week's theme is patience, and the rabbi who is known for the most patience is Rabbi Hillel. Not this Rabbi Hillel, but my namesake, Hillel the Elder, who the Talmud in Tractate Shabbat on page 30b, they call the most patient. They say a person should always be patient like Hillel and not impatient like Shammai. They're more related. It tells a bunch of stories about Hillel's patience and Shammai's impatience. So here is a story about Hillel's patience. There was an incident involving two people who wagered with each other and said, anyone who will go and aggravate Hillel to the point that he reprimands him will take 400 zuz. One of them said, I will aggravate him. That day that he chose to bother Hillel was Shabbat Eve, and Hillel was washing the hair on his head. He went and passed the entrance to Hillel's house, and in a demeaning manner said, Who is Hillel? Who here is Hillel? Hillel wrapped himself in a dignified garment and went out to greet him. He said to him, My son, what do you seek? The man replied, I have a question to ask. And Hillel said to him, Ask, my son, ask. The man asked him, Why are the heads of Babylonians oval? And he's alluding to the fact that in attempting to insult Hillel, who was himself a Babylonian. Hillel replies to him, My son, you have asked a significant question. The reason is because they do not have clever midwives. They do not know how to shape the child's head at birth. It goes on through a bunch of different questions that this man asks, all of them a little bit infuriating and not necessarily polite. And then eventually the man says to Hillel, I have many more questions to ask, but I'm afraid lest you get angry. Hillel wrapped himself and sat before him and said, All of the questions that you have to ask them. The man got angry himself and said to him, Are you the Hillel who they call the Nasi of Israel? Hillel replies, Yes. The man says to him, If it is you, then may there not be many like you in Israel. Hillel said to him, My son, for what reason do you say this? The man said to him, Because I lost 400 zuz because of you. And Hillel said to him, Be vigilant of your spirit and avoid situations of this sort. Hillel is worthy of having you lose 400 zuz and another 400 zuz on his account, and Hillel will not get upset. There are many ways that we can understand this story. We could probably spend an entire hour unpacking all the intricacies of this story. But two things I want to leave with are, one, the connection between judging others and patience. When we judge others negatively, we don't really have patience for them. We don't really suffer fools. Knowing that this man was up to his shenanigans, we would say, you know what, get out of here. What are you doing? I don't really have patience for this. But Hillel gives him the time of day. He sits down and really says, okay, let's think about this together. And you wonder, does Hillel really believe that the head of Babylonians are oval, or is he just really entertaining this man's mindset, taking a learning opportunity and really saying, you know what, let's actually be patient here and be able to recognize each other and to take people at face value for where they're at. I think oftentimes we don't really have that patience. And I think that the second point that I would like to share is Hillel's advice to this man, right, where he says, be vigilant of your spirit and avoid situations of this sort. Right, in a way, it's interesting that the man sets out to get Hillel angry, but he himself is the one who loses patience and gets angry. Of course, there's a connection between anger and patience here, but I think it's important for us to be able to be in tune with our own emotions and recognizing when we are losing patience and all the negative emotions that can come from that as well. It's interesting as well that a few paragraphs later, this is the same Hillel who will say, that which is hateful to you, do not do unto others, a version of the golden rule. But in a way, Hillel is being super patient here and not very judgy of others. And I think that we are wise to learn from his example. There are 4 days until Rosh Hashanah, 13 days until Yom Kippur, 14 days until a better you. Let's make every day count.